Welcome back to Bree and Mandy's Moon Ritual. I'm Mandy and I'm here with Bree. Hi Bree, how are you?
Hey Mandy, I'm good. It's another hot but also humid day here in Arizona. But really grateful for some of the rain we've been getting and the cooler, actually warm weather feels better in the hundreds than it does in the 110s. So I'm doing pretty good over here.
So hot. How have you been feeling since the new moon?
I've been feeling more mellow. That new moon shook me up a little bit. Um, Made me feel a little bit ungrounded and unsure of myself. Not that I'm ever really completely sure of myself, but uh, I just took the time though to kind of reflect and try to focus more on the things that I've accomplished than the things that I haven't. I think with stirring up, bringing in an intention that hasn't come to fruition gave me mixed feelings because I have such negativity towards myself when things don't get done or, goals don't get accomplished. So definitely feeling more weight off my shoulders now and feeling more like I can hone in on exactly what this full moon is going to enlighten for all of us and for myself specifically. Really looking forward to having, I think you said 3 good days of a bright full moon.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling since the new moon?
Yeah, I very similar, to be honest. I took some reflection time after our ritual because, we opened our heart and like worked with forgiveness and then like forgiveness towards the self. So I felt like it needed some time to marinate. And so we record a little bit before the new moon or the full moon so that we can post it in time. And so by time that new moon energy truly came around, I was like zeroed in. I was dialed into my intention. And like it was the forgiving myself for kind of the like expecting myself to have already manifested all of those things.
Right.
And when I like looked at that, it was eye-opening that I was being pretty hard on myself. And so my new moon intention ended up being like just for self-love. Like just self-love. I'm back to doing like some body oiling, which is Abhyanga in Ayurveda, which is super nourishing to my system. And like wearing clothes, this dress, I've had it for 10 years and I've never worn it. And I'm like, I don't want to wear things around my house and like ruin them. And I'm just like, no, like when I picture my future self, she's never wearing like grungy clothes. She's never wearing like the worst of her wardrobe. So I've been trying to dress for the day a little bit and kind of be more loving towards me.
Oh, I love that. And I love your dress.
Yeah.
It's a good look on
Thank
you.
you. Shall we talk about this moon ritual? Are you
Sure.
ready?
Yeah.
So we have the full moon in Sidereal Capricorn in the star of Shravana. Shravana is symbolized by the ears to listening. It's kind of like the ear of the Capricorn. And it's also symbolized by the 3 steps of Vishnu. So we'll be incorporating a little bit of the story of Vishnu and how he reclaimed the earth and the heavens from an Ashura named Mahabali. So we'll be using a little bit of that story in our activity after Bree leads us through some physical asana practice. First, let's chant to the moon, and then we'll move into asana. I'll be leading today's chant. And we'll chant to the moon 4 times to pay our reverence and to let the moon know we are here to align. Let's get settled in. If you'd like, you could bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. Just tune in to your natural breath. Notice the weight of your body making contact on the earth. Sensing into this connection we have with the moon and the earth, holding us here with gravity. Let yourself get a little heavy. We'll chant Om, Cham, Chandraya, Namaha 4 times together. We'll begin on the exhale. When you're ready, take an inhale. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Please rest a moment in silence. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes back open, and I'll turn it over to Bree for our asana practice.
Thank you, Mandy. So today we're going to focus a lot on listening to our body. This full moon is about listening, and in my head, the definition that comes up for listening is all about listening to what our bodies need. And you could think of it as listening to our minds as well, but I just see those as interconnected. So anything our mind is saying, I think our body is also saying, but I think our body has a better sense of what we actually need, whereas I feel like our minds kind of run wild and kind of create these stories. And so it's not necessarily, I think it's a good idea to listen to what your mind is telling you so that we can alter it, especially if it's telling you, negative things. But I think the body is what is always going to be telling the truth of what you actually need. So I'm just wanting to invite everyone today to listen to your body. It's going to be a short asana practice, a very still practice, not a lot of movement, so we can kind of give the space that we need to actually hone in on what our body is trying to say. So we will start on our backs. So if you want to you can get flat on your mat, or you can make yourself as comfortable as you need to. But basically, I just want you in a supine position, also known as Shavasana. You can put something under your knees if it is too much of a stretch on your low back to be flat. You can put something under your head if your neck needs the support, or even something like kind of tucked in to your neck. So once you get to a comfortable position on your back, just take a few moments to settle in. Maybe take a few deeper breaths in and out through the nose. With your hands, you can rest them to your sides, either face down for more of a grounding sense, or face up if you'd like to receive energy from around you. And start to scan the body from head to toe. So starting from the head, the back of the head, notice how the back of your head feels against the ground. And really try to keep a good awareness. So we're not actually in Shavasana right now. We're in a resting pose where I'd like you to really focus and meditate on the sensations of your body so that you can practice this listening to what your body is trying to tell you. So honing in on your head, feel the weight of your head against the ground. And coming down to notice the backs of your shoulders. Maybe noticing the weight in your chest area. And maybe take another deep breath and notice how it feels in the chest area, in the upper back. And then coming down to the arms, noticing any parts of your arms touching the ground, any parts of your hands or your fingers. And as you scan your body, you can choose to just kind of notice the feelings and not really label them. Or if you'd like more of a focus, you could label the sensations. Like, oh, that's a soft muscle, or oh, that's a sharp twinge, depending on where you're focusing. And come down into the torso. Notice the backs of your hips against the ground. And just notice the heaviness of your hips in general. See if there's any description words coming up for what's going on in your hips and your pelvis, your low back, maybe even your stomach. And let's take another deep breath down as low into the stomach as you can. And pushing it out, also with the low stomach. And then again, just relaxing the breath, coming back to just noticing. Come down to your legs, the backs of your legs and the backs of your feet. And then just send your awareness all over the body. So from head to toe. If there were any specific points of sensation that came up during your scan, maybe going back and forth, maybe from a foot to a hand, from your stomach to your low back. And just kind of giving those parts of your body that are talking to you just a little bit more time to really listen. And then I'll have you bend at the knees, bringing your feet onto the ground. Maybe you could bring your arms out like a T shape, or you could keep them on your stomach. That feels comfortable. And then just slowly rock your knees side to side. Just creating some small movements in the spine and the hips. And then slowly maybe bring your hands up and do some wrist circles, pump your fingers, just slow movements. Just warming the body up before we switch positions. And then you can slowly roll to one side, come up to sitting. Taking your time. So now coming up to a comfortable seat. You can choose to sit on a blanket. You can sit up in a chair if that's more comfortable. We come to this kind of like easy seat. And once you get there, you can close your eyes or you can take a soft gaze forward. And let's just come back inside the body. We'll do another scan starting at the top of the head. And again, with the hands, you can rest them in your lap face down for more grounding, or face up for more receiving energy. And then again, start to listen. Listen to your head. Notice the difference it feels being in this position versus laying down and having it supported. You might tuck the chin slightly to align the neck with the rest of the spine, creating more space in the back of your neck. And coming down, bringing that awareness down into your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Listen to what the body has to say to you in this position. Maybe what was tight or sore or soft before has the opposite sensation now, or maybe it's not even noticeable. And coming down into the torso, notice your middle back. Maybe notice your ribs stacked on top of each other. And coming down into the hips. Noticing the hips and the pelvis and the stomach. And let's take a deep breath here. Again, bringing the breath down into the low belly and pushing it out with the low belly as you exhale. And then finally come to notice the legs. Notice the sensation of the parts of your legs or your hips that are touching the ground. And just for a few more moments in this position, let's listen to the body from head to toe. Again, pinpointing any spots on the body that are extra verbal or extra sensitive. And when you feel ready, you can slowly blink your eyes open. We'll take a few slower movements again. So this time, let's reach the hands out to the side. And as you inhale, let's reach up towards the sky. And exhale the arms out to the sides again and look down as you exhale. Again, inhaling the arms out and up. And exhaling out and down. And one more time, inhaling out and up. And exhaling down to the side. And then let's take the left arm out to the side, reach the right arm up, look up at your hand, and just do a nice side bend, taking a deep breath here. And exhale, come back up to center. And then taking the right hand out to the side, reach your left hand up and over, looking up at your left hand. And take a deep breath here into the left side of your body. And exhale, reach the left hand back down. Okay, let's do a couple seated twists. So inhaling, bring your arms up to the sky. And exhale, reach over to your left, bringing your right hand on your left knee. And then reaching your neck, looking past your left shoulder. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale and just come back to center. Okay. And again, inhale, reach up towards the sky. And exhale, turn to your right, bringing your left hand on your right knee. And reaching your chin back and across towards the right. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, come back to center. And one more time, let's just close our eyes, or you can take a soft gaze forward. You can choose to bring your hands to heart center, leaning the thumbs against your sternum. Come back into the body and listen to how it feels. So listening to a feeling is different. It's something that's not normally taught in our society or community unless you are someone that is a part of a regular yoga community. This is something that yoga has taught me and Mandy to do. I think it's one of the most important things it's taught us to do, to be aware of these callings that our body is making to us. Sometimes it's hard to know what it's saying, but the more that you practice, the easier it comes, just like anything else. So just for another half of a minute, sit here in silence and listen. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this asana practice. Maybe showing yourself gratitude by nodding your head down towards your hands. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back to me and Mandy. Blink your eyes open. And I'll hand it over to Mandy when she's ready for the activity.
Move up to my seat. Be a little closer. Okay, so let's grab journals, any pens, markers, colors, crayons that you would like. You can intuitively choose the color for our journal activity. Bree has set us up really nicely to use our body's intelligence in this activity. So we'll continue with a meditative state as we work through our activity. So finding your page and coming into your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. So a little bit of the mythology of the 3 steps of Vishnu, just to lay our foundation here, is the kingdom was won, the kingdoms were won by a king who was an Ashura, meaning he was not a moral king. Okay, the land wasn't in a good state. We could say it was delusioned. But this king had won the rulership, and under his winning of a rulership, he was setting up a ritual where anybody could come and ask for a blessing, and it would be given. And Vishnu, the sustainer of our peace and order in the world, decided that this was the time to reincarnate. He reincarnated as Vamana. Vamana was a dwarf-sized man. He was a dwarf, and he came to the ritual and asked Mahabali for 3 steps. He didn't really need a lot. He just wanted 3 of his own steps in land so that he could humbly achieve spiritual awakening. Okay, So whatever Vishnu was going to do with his 3 dwarf-sized steps. The king had a guru there with him, and the guru advised him not to fall to this trick. He said, this is Vishnu, but the king thought otherwise and decided to grant this boon of 3 of Vamana's steps. At this time, Vamana appears as Vishnu, and the first step he takes is the entire earth, the grounding. So we're going to pause here in the story. We're going to come back into our bodies. So in your comfortable seat, you could close your eyes and tune into the sensations of your feet and your legs. So perhaps it's just the sensation of your feet making contact with the ground. You could send your breath here, breathing into your toes if you'd like. You could wiggle your toes or roll your ankles. Anything that helps you become more aware of your feet and your legs. If you have any pain or discomfort here, perhaps choose a part of your lower half that is not in so much pain. So as you listen in here, listening to the lower half of your body, perhaps feeling into any pulsing, blood, circulation moving. Perhaps when you wiggle your toes, you notice that more. And get really quiet here. You can release the grasping or the hold on listening to the legs, but just tune in now into the whole body. From this quiet place, I'm going to ask a question. And whatever comes up for you, just whatever 1 to 3 words, or perhaps a feeling tone or a color, let it not make sense. We're working with the intuition here. So again, get a little heavy in your seat. Tune into the sensation of your body meeting the floor or the ground. What physical habit or daily duty in my life needs to be reclaimed or balanced? Let whatever come up. What earthly, what physical habit needs to be reclaimed? And as soon as it comes to you, you can write this down. I'll put the questions in the description so you can just write the words, and if you want to reference what the questions were later, but stay in this kind of liminal space we're creating. If you need to, you can return to your breath. Sense your body on the ground. Maybe just 30 more seconds here. What physical habit or daily duty needs to be reclaimed or balanced? So the first step was to reclaim the earthly activities. And the second was to reclaim the cosmos. So Vishnu's second step is to reclaim the cosmos. Let's dive back into our body in our meditative state. Closing your eyes, tune into your breath. Sense your torso here, your pelvic basin, all the way up to your shoulders. Notice how your breath moves through from the base of your spine all the way up and back. See if you can follow your breath in this pattern as you breathe in from the base of your spine up to the crown of your skull. And exhale, return down as you hug your belly button towards your spine to release the exhale. From this place, I'll offer a second question. What inner worry, repetitive thought, or maybe even a hidden ambition, what's been taking up too much space in your mind? So what worry or ambition or just a rumination, a repetitive thought is taking up too much space? So get quiet, tune into your breath, and let the answer come to you. If you feel like you're striving for it, release, come back to your breath. Soften your body. What inner worry, repetitive thought, or hidden ambition has been taking up too much space in my mind? You can write it down when you're ready. Of maybe just about 20 or 30 more seconds here for an inner worry, repetitive thought, or ambition that might be crowding out some peace. Doesn't mean you have to do anything about it right now. Remember, we're just listening in and writing down what we hear from our body and our subconscious, our intuition. All right. The third and final step. Vishnu asks, where should I place my last step? And Mahabali responds, on my head. Freeing Mahabali, liberating him, Vishnu steps on his head as a symbolic gesture, as symbolic movement of killing the ego. So let's come back into our meditation. Close your eyes. And please bring your awareness to the top of your head, the crown of your head. You might even imagine just a couple hair follicles. Perhaps with your inhale, you reach the crown of your head up a little taller and settle a little more soft in your seat with the exhale. Keep your awareness on the top of your head. A natural, easy breath. When your mind wanders from the crown of your head, notice and gently guide it back. From the crown of your head, begin to drone upward. Take your awareness above you now. And see yourself sitting here making these efforts for alignment and for peace. If you'd like, you could take your bird's eye view or your drone a little higher and let it soak up all of your efforts here. Let it understand what you're doing. You can land your drone back on the crown of your head when you're ready. Come back to your easy breath. What part of my ego or control am I ready to release under the light of this full moon? Stay with your easy breath and let it come to you. We need not investigate or judge what comes. What part of my control am I ready to lay down? What part of my ego am I ready to release under the light of this full moon? Whatever comes, write any last thoughts down. Bring your journal or your pages and let's place it over your heart. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. And as we breathe into our heart space, we're going to imagine with the exhale, we're surrendering or releasing this. If you'd like, you could close your eyes or leave them open. And we'll go ahead and breathe in together. Our first inhale, breathe into your heart space. And as you exhale, imagine just laying it down. You could physically lay it down in front of you or imagine it with your mind's eye. Let your body soften. Come back when you're ready for the next inhale. Inhale into your pages. And exhale, dissolving. Last one. You can release the practice whenever you're ready. I think one thing that this full moon will teach us is the importance of tuning in, of listening in. Bree's activity gave us the body scan and to really feel into where we are in space and time and what our body is telling us, what our body needs as a sign of truth. What I heard Bree say is the mind is not always truthful. It's not always accurate, but the body never lies. Is that right, Bree?
In my experience, yes.
Yeah, mine too. And so the more we can kind of cease the thoughts, we can slow down our thoughts and be present, whether that's just feeling our feet on the ground, we're a little more aligned or a little more in tune with the present moment. And that can be really helpful. Bree, thank you for the asana. How was this activity for you? Any insights or thoughts to share?
yeah, thank you for this activity. I really liked the story that went along with it. It made it easier to, or it made it easier for my mind, I guess, to kind of focus in on the 3 different steps. And nothing too surprising came up for me. Just some of the things that are in the back of my mind that I know I would like to bring back to, like my daily practice. And the thing I want to release this full moon is just expectations. Just, I really want to try my best to really be in the moment and be grateful for the things that I have versus trying to tell the future or know what to expect. And yeah, so that's what came up for me. And I really appreciate being able to write it down and have more of a focus.
Thank you for sharing. I hope that this does help us soften and listen in a little bit more to the present moment and what it has to offer versus those future expectations. I can really resonate with that. And just being here now. That's, all that we are, that's all we have, but it's really all we have to do or be. We just forget. And there's a lot of pressure that makes like me personally feel like I'm not doing enough. And some of that is like past conditioning, and some of it is like our world moves so fast, so fast. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's move into our community tarot poll. And while Bree gets that ready for us, I will give us a little peek into what our next new moon has to offer. Our next new moon is on August 12th in the sign of Sidereal Cancer. It'll be in the star of Ashlesha. Ashlesha is symbolized by the coiled serpent. So our serpents are like our Kundalini energy or our spiritual energy. And when it's coiled, it's kind of a sign of perhaps latent energy or dormant energy. So I'm looking forward to see how the new moon helps us to align, or to see how we can maybe uncoil some of that latent or dormant energy to be more aligned with our path or our dharma. Okay, Bree, you got our card?
Yes. So the card for this full moon is called the Hermit. So this is one of the Arcana cards. With the Hermit comes inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, spiritual mentor, finding your guide within, taking time away from the chaos of a busy life, hermiting. It's time to make space for your sacred aloneness and self-care. If you are feeling disconnected from your spiritual north, this time of solitary withdrawal will help you connect with your own compass. Soul purpose, spiritual awakening, and deep inner wisdom spring from this energy. Sometimes we run the risk of being so introspective that we lose our connections to others, or worse, we can dive so deeply into our stories of struggle that we inadvertently begin to believe that our wounds will be part of our forever identity. In the deepest trenches of self-discovery, we must remember that our continual search for our own healing and inner truth does not mean that we are not already whole and healed. Emerge from your inner retreat with beautiful insights from Spirit and allow yourself to navigate the path with your brightly illuminated heart. And the mantra for this card is, show me my brightest light so that I may see with all of my heart.
Can you read that mantra one more time?
Yeah.
It was something about the brightest light. And I just was thinking about how the moon, you shared at the beginning of our session here, and I shared last time, but how our moon is going to be bright appearing full for 3 full nights, starting on the 28th. So 28, 29, and 30 will all appear to be the bright moon. What is our mantra?
Show me my brightest light so that I may see with all of my heart.
Show me my brightest light so I may see with all of my heart. And in this case, we might say, so I can listen with all of my heart.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, the moon will be bright for about 3 days. So a good practice, if you have crystals or gems, might be to place them out under the full moon, or to make yourself some moon water, pour some water and place it out under the full moonlight and drink it after. It can be really nourishing. And if you do those practices, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're celebrating the full moon. Bree, thank you for being here. I really appreciate the sacred space and doing these with you.
Same. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, everyone, for showing up for yourself, and good luck with this full moon.
Thank you. Good luck.